I got the last 2 seconds of you pulling that whole thing out. Boop. It's good. It's frogged.
Done.
Frogged.
Ooh.
We're filming. We can take some of this out, but
You're fine. I'm gonna go find a quick yarn bowl from a.
I feel like we should have made some show notes and stuff.
Well, we winging it so far.
Yeah. I feel like there's things that we wanted to talk about.
There's so much winging it now.
We will both be right back. Back. Okay. Got my coffee.
Oh, coffee.
Need my coffee. All right. Hello, world. And it's not just YouTube anymore, it's the whole world. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
That's us. Yeah.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion at Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard.
And I'm Rebecca. I am the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber. I can't even remember the name of my shop right now. In Brevard, North Carolina.
At least she knows where it is.
Yeah. At least I got here today. I can remember the town I live in. Oh, man. It's been a crazy couple of days in the shop, so I'm tired. I'm really tired, and I've made almost no progress on any knitting. But the good news is when we get tired, especially when I get tired,
we get giggly.
I get really giggly. And I got my coffee to get me through the day. So, anyway, so I was just saying, I think it's probably going to end up in the pre-credits that I don't know what we're talking about today. We will start having game plans as we go, but we're going to try to keep this going as long as we can. So, because community is good right now. You know, we have no idea what's going on in the future, but for now we have each other. Things I had to think about that. I think we mentioned this on Tuesday, that we are thinking about starting another playlist, not another channel, but within this channel, and we're going to work on that today, because we have shut the shop down to essentially all foot traffic. We are going to have a by appointment only, which will maybe, really rare that we're going to grant that. And I just sent an email out about it. If you're on my email list, haha.
It's for multiple reasons.
Yeah, it's for a lot of reasons.
Brian works with a lot of older people who are still, homebound or whatever, that doing piano lessons.
Yeah.
And my husband has no spleen. So.
And we just, we want to do our part to try to stop the spread of whatever.
Yeah.
And, but we know how important it is to not lose connection with people. So we're going to try to keep this going. And we are going to try to be sending yarn out to everybody, which now includes you guys, if you want it. So, if you can. We get that everyone's in their own places on this. But what we were thinking about is another playlist that people have said, ooh, what's that yarn over your shoulder? What's that? Or what? Ooh. And so we were thinking about starting like what Kathleen, shout out to Kathleen, calls the QVC moments that we do during knit nights, where we say, well, this is our yarn of the week, and tell me more about that. She's great. So we might try one of those videos later today, since maybe we'll have time. We'll see.
Maybe we won't.
Maybe we won't. Oh my gosh, the last 2 days, phone's been ringing off the hook, which that's a good problem to have.
We won't slap you if you say that.
I used to say, I'm going to slap you if you say that. When we moved over here, we had more yarn going out than we could bring in. And I was like, well, that's a good problem to have. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's still a problem. Not going to be so upset with that phrase anymore, but we'll do what we can. So yeah, we might start trying to, we want to keep this more
Fun,
connecting, yay, and not so much, now let's see this, and now let's talk about that. But we know some of you want to see that, which is also fun for us. So we're going to do that separately. Same channel, Sun Dragon Sideshow, different playlist, which you can take from the drop-down menus. If you subscribe to us, I think, still learning this whole YouTube thing, but I think that you will be able to be alerted when we make those two. But we'll just give them a different title. I was thinking this morning, I was like, is QVC copyrighted? Like if we call it QVC blah blah blah, like not trying to.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, if you have any ideas for what we should call our QVC channel, let us know in the comments. We'll see what we can do. So,
I'm sorry, I'm making knots.
I was about to say, one of the things, if you watch from the beginning, and I think I just shook the camera, I'm going to take my hands off the table. One of the things that you may have seen in the beginning of the video was Liz ripping out, or as we knitters and crocheters call it, frogging. Because you rip it, rip it, rip it. Knitters got jokes. Alexander last night, when I used that phrase, he's like, I've never heard that before.
No, you have to be in. It's only certain circles. It's like we have our own club with our own vocabulary. So you know.
So if you want to be part of the club, watch more videos. Ha.
You can always join the club, but it's not like members only. But like
no secret passwords.
No,
especially no handshakes. You know.
Yeah, but we do kind of have with the frog and the tink and the. Knitters got jokes.
Knitters got jokes. We think we're funny.
We do
crocheters
have
too.
Like a weird.
So Liz, she was making a project that she, you had about this much done. You know, totally ripped it out, frogged it, as we say. So Liz, why did you frog that, and what are you making?
It was a Solomon. It's my Solomon's knot or love knot shawl, and the knots were too tiny. I mean, I liked it, but I would have had to block it. And I don't want to block.
One of the cool things about Solomon's knot, which I have not yet learned to do, is when they're big and open, it flies and it doesn't use a whole lot of yarn.
It flies. I did one ginormous, like it drags on the ground if I don't kind of pull it up. Shawl that was Solomon's knot. I did it out of the Serrata. It's llama and silk. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. And one skein was enough to do the entire body of the shawl with a couple of rounds. And I wound up using a second skein just to put a bigger bigger border and then tassels.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but everybody's like, we have these one skein shawl things, and they're never big enough. They're like
big,
They're like scarves.
They're never big enough for you.
I like great grandma shawls.
And a lot of other people too. Yeah. So. We hooked up someone with enough yarn. Randy, shout out to Randy. We hooked up one of our knitters yesterday, last purchase of the day, with yarn to make her version of Liz's Papillon. Like the first one she made, which is huge because it's worsted weight on 10.5 needle. And took 3 balls of Ito, 200 grams each, and also 3 skeins of the contrast color, which were only 100 grams each. She settled on some awesome colors, so she's gonna wrap you up in a blanket Papillon, which is gonna be really cool.
I like the big ones because then they're snuggly. It's like throwing on an oversized sweater.
I'm envious because I love my pretty Papillon, but I can't snuggle in it.
But at the same time, like you can get all the cool butterfly colors. Like we don't have that monarch color that you're using for your Papillon for my big ones. Which is no bigger than Tuesday. I went surfing on Pinterest last night collecting moths and butterflies.
Color schemes.
Color schemes. I found a butterfly. Oh my gosh. Like to see this butterfly in real life would just be awesome.
So we'll recreate it.
It was steel blue. Like the
you were telling me about
steel
this.
blue
Yeah.
with the black veins, and I was like, oh, I have to make that. And then I was telling my husband about your Papillon that it's going to look like a monarch butterfly, and I pulled up pictures of monarch butterflies, and doing the white pods is going to be.
I think the white pods. We talked about that on Tuesday. Is going to be so cool.
So
my
awesome.
gosh. So yeah, we're hoping we can use. We're going to put newsletters out with ideas of projects you can do while you are sheltering in place. But we're hoping we can show some off here as well. Like this one is our shop sample of Andrea Mowry's Shift Cowl. And the night shift is the shawl version of this. This one, I'm showing the back side of it. This one is a triangle cowl, which is one of those cool things. It's stitched right here. It was made flat and it's stitched up right there. So that you can look like you're wearing a triangle shawl that you've put the point in front and wrapped it around, but there's not as much bulk, there's not as much yarn involved, and you throw it on and go, and don't worry about it falling off. So this was originally designed for 3 skeins of a color-changing yarn, slowly color-changing yarn. If you're noticing, mine only has 1, like the background of this. And then I have an olive green and an orange. Both of which colors, the solid colors I used in this, we no longer have in the shop. But we do have the color changing. It is Feederbrook Farm.
Same color.
That one, we might have like 1 skein of it left, but it won't look the same because skein to skein, because it's handmade and hand spun and hand dyed, they all look different. Feederbrook Farm, shout out to Feederbrook Farm, up in Maryland, Lisa up in Maryland. It's our sheep to shop yarn where she dyes it and spins it. She sent it out. She shears it from her sheep. She sent it out to be plied, but I think in the recent months she has set up facilities at her own farm to start doing all that herself, which is so cool. We only have a little bit of it. It is right behind me here. What I use for this DK weight is up on the top. We have like 10 skeins left.
So woefully unprepared.
We have bulky weight down here. It's beautiful. Bulky weight 1 skein project. Oh, so much fun. We have a couple other options that would do color changing. I have seen this being done out of thicker weights like the Ito, which does color changes like your shawl. There's so many options. It's mosaic, which means even though we've got 3 colors in it, you're only ever holding 1 color at a time, which is kind of cool. So options. Thoughts for projects, thoughts to keep you going through this, because honestly, I probably have said it before, but things to keep you sane and keep you from getting too stressed. Knitting is fantastic. Crocheting is fantastic. Skills, there were studies that came out in the past year of anything you do with your hands. It could be welding. It could be baking.
I want to do that so bad.
I know. It could, anything you do can be really like producing something with your hands. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health. Shout out to Amy D. She's our example we have in the shop of someone who works on lowering her blood pressure by knitting with her doctor. Like her doctor, I could be getting this wrong, Amy, shout out in the comments. Sometimes if her blood pressure is high, her doctor will say, go knit for 10 minutes and let's try again. So I would say if you haven't learned to knit or crochet yet, your blood pressure might go up as you're learning. But once you learn, there's this zen repetitiveness if you just want to knit and not do a fancy pattern. And then if you want to do a fancier pattern, there's the challenge, there's keeping your brain engaged, your hands engaged. Someone was joking with all this don't touch your face. If you have a project in your hand, you're less likely to touch your face. Yeah, like right now, I really want to scratch my face, and I'm going to use my shawl to do it. But it's because I can't really talk to you guys and knit at the same time because my brain would explode out my ears. Or I wouldn't be speaking English anymore. I'd be putting random words together because that's what I do. I'll be like, and I won't even realize, and Liz will go, wait, what? Or
I'll translate for you.
Yeah, if there's people in the shop, she'll translate for them. And if there's no people in the shop, she'll just roll with me because she knows what I mean. So, I can show y'all. I got just a handful of rows done on this
piece.
It
looks so awesome.
And I'm going to hold it upside down now to show you the progress. Because, when you're working on a project like a sweater, it's upside down. I'm working on the body, which has all the flecks of color that are down here in it. Just a little. We had someone, shout out to Maria Shea. I'm just going to shout out the whole episode. She has started her own in the same cotton as mine, in this Amano Sammy, which is gorgeous. But she picked out a totally different color palette. It was fantastic. Depending on what or how much we QVC, we might show some stuff like that off, some options. There's so many things rolling in my head. Like when I'm working to get online sales going today, and trying to get options for y'all in the online sale version, for maybe some kits and things. I'm just like bubbling with creativity about what people could be doing when they can't leave their houses. But first we got to get over that task, So keep watching this space, because as soon as it's up and running, we'll start putting it on the video comments so you all can check it out. I think that'd be awesome. The other thing, and I'm babbling, this is also what happens when I get tired, so Liz knows if she wants to get heard,
I'll just jump in.
She'll just jump in. But the other thing that I thought was really cool, especially since the last video, that I'm hoping y'all can get in on if you want, is we tried our first virtual knit night on Tuesday night. And I'm seeing a lot of local yarn shops advertising things like this now, and I think it's awesome. Because it's a way to stay connected and not feel as isolated in your houses.
Keeps some routine from before going.
For those of us, for the people who are coming to the shop, we can keep that going. And it actually allows for people from far away to join in. I'm really excited to see what happens tomorrow night when we try this again. Because we did it Tuesday. We used Zoom, which my sister, shout out to my sister Rachel, suggested because a lot of classes and kids are using this to try to still be teaching classes and doing things. And at first I went, I don't know. And then, let me look into that. So we used the Zoom app, which you can do as an app on your phone or on your computer. It downloads a little bit of software on your computer to let you engage. And it's free to join. You sign in, username, password. If you make your name something we recognize, then we know who you are when you jump into a meeting, which is cool. And we opened up a meeting on Tuesday night and put out the code that you would, if you want to join a meeting, you put in my code, which I'm putting on social media as often as I can, and you're in the meeting. And there's different ways that it functions, which we could get into another time for. If you join the meeting,
it's a little wonky start. I don't do electronics very well. Rebecca knows that. I'm always threatening to throw the system out the window.
If Liz can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, it was just a little wonky, but I wound up with a background behind me, and Rebecca still has no idea how that happened.
Background, and I don't know how to do that. But I figure if we're filming from the shop, people are going to want to see the yarn anyway, so I wasn't going to change the background. But
a beautiful sunset off by.
She had a beautiful sunset behind her, and her hat turned into the beautiful sunset too, but that's another story.
Yeah, kind of green screens, anything. My glasses were up on my head, and they'd fade in and out.
It was kind of wonky, but it was still cool.
Yeah.
I think some teachers are thinking about using it to teach from Hogwarts, because you might be able to pick that as a background. Anyway.
It's if you have it uploaded on your camera roll.
Yeah.
You could pick any.
Okay.
So we could do one from the TARDIS.
Yay!
Or for Brian, the Starship Enterprise. If we had just the set.
Oh, don't tell him that. He could be teaching piano lessons from the Starship Enterprise. That would be fantastic. He'd love it. Well, but we're gonna try to. We on Tuesday we actually had Nicole and Julie, who we've connected through Facebook and more the YouTube channel. So shout out to them. They jumped in for a few minutes just to say hi. Alexis joined in, who's a knitter in the shop, who's coming into the shop but hasn't been able to come to knit night. And I'm kind of thinking, how crazy would it be if we had people from all over the world tapping into, or at least all over the country, I don't know how far this goes, joining us for knit night. I think we can host up to 100 people. We could test that. I have no idea. I mean, never had anything grow that large. But we have surpassed 320 subscribers. So, and here's the thing. It's not like you have to be working on a project to come sit and knit. When we were doing that, you could just come hang out. Alexis didn't have her knitting with her when she joined in, but she just, personal connection. It's not going to be physical, but
no touching.
But you could talk to someone and feel like they were not far away. We had Carol, shout out to Carol, our knitter who usually sits right here. And we've asked her not to come hang in the shop for safety. She sat outside, but was
on her
phone, and I would hear her talk muffled, and then I would hear her on the phone. It was funny.
I'd go outside and sit with Carol and listen on her end, and then come back inside.
Yeah, she kept bopping back and forth, going out for breaks. So. Yeah, so consider that. We just put it out in the email what the code is to join the meeting tomorrow night. And we'll put it out on social media again, and I will probably put it in the comments on this video. So I just think that's awesome. You get to see the Liz and Rebecca show in person. However, you cannot go back and rewatch it because, that's more special.
That's just for YouTube.
We will try to keep it clean because honestly, here at Knit Night and other things, sometimes the language is not as nice. But I think we should be watching that a little better for everybody, probably.
Especially since there might be kids in the room, or you know.
I'll take other times to vent in ways where I can let out the bad language. So,
Oh, look.
Oh, before we sign off, we're not signing off for a couple more minutes, but show a couple different angles of this. So Liz just started this when we started filming, and this is what Solomon's Knot looks like, all open. I have not taught this because you learned from like a picture or something.
Picture. There are some patterns now starting to show up on different spots that, but I saw a shawl on a dress that I really liked on Pinterest that I really want to make the dress too. But
Pinterest.
The shawl was just all Solomon's Knot, and I was like, huh. And there was a tutorial of just like there's two different ways to do it.
Yeah.
If you do it rectangle, you build it different than if you build it in a triangle.
Okay. Yeah.
But the knot itself is so easy, and it really, really works well with floppy yarn. Like, if you have a stiffer yarn, it's going to give you a completely different look than a floppier. I like the floppier yarn.
Yeah.
So, and depending on how big your knot is, but the hardest part of the Solomon's Knot is eyeballing to make sure you don't have to measure it, but you want all the loops pretty much the same, give or take,
And you're kind of pulling length up.
Yeah, you pull length up, and then you do a little twisty knot, and then you secure it into another twisty knot. And I just, for a one skein project, it is you get so much more yardage or mileage out of your yarn.
And it's lacy, and it's cool looking.
Yeah. And it's warm. You'd be surprised at how warm.
Yeah. I need to learn that if I'm going to teach it. So the Sun Dragon tips and tricks will not be having a Solomon's Knot in the near future. But look up on YouTube. There's other resources. I'm not going to claim to be the monopoly on how to teach stuff. I'm trying to come up with my own way to teach stuff, which I think is cool.
I'll show her. She'll teach it.
Okay. It might just take a little while. So if you can't wait, hunt it down yourself. Anyway, I'm thinking...
You're thinking.
We should probably wrap this up and try a QVC because my timer went off for a second time, which means we're at 20, 25 something minutes, which is a good chunk to get you guys started with today. I'm saying a lot today too. Tired. How many videos? We should go back and look how many videos I say I'm tired in, because it's a convenient excuse, but it's kind of reality.
We're perpetually tired. It's our normal even before our new norm.
Yeah, before. Also, the normal is me cutting her off as she's trying to say something. That is super pretty. I like it. And I like that is that to mark your center?
That's to mark the bottom center. Okay. Yeah, but it also gives it
pulls
weight
it so she can
where
see
I know
what's
where.
Going on. Super
because
cool.
it's really easy with this. It's almost like the interlock, where you can get a barnacle.
Okay. Oh yeah,
where
things can go wonky.
You start building it the wrong direction, or for other crochet things, it could be corner to corner. Where if you do it the wrong way, so the stitch marker at the bottom just tells me which direction is down.
Cool.
So. Yeah.
So the other thing, as we leave, like we're gonna start building this community as much as we can. I think this is gonna be super essential to all of our mental healths moving forward. Is to stay connected any way we can, and. On that note, like we're both trying to come up with projects that y'all can be inspired by and do. Like, I'm probably not even going to be able to find it here.
What project?
The brickless.
Oh, yeah.
I got my little piece here. So we've had a few people come in or be interested in doing the brickless. which is by Martina Bem, and I only have this itty bitty little piece done, and it's really not enough to show off, but Martina Bem has a bunch of triangle shawls. They'll start small and get bigger, and sometimes the hitchhiker is one that is super basic, like just knitting and then just casting off. You're adding stitches and you're casting off, and it's getting bigger and bigger. This is a variation on that, where you're doing some lace, some meshy type stuff, some garter, some ribbing, and it keeps rotating. And they're still teeth, but they're a little different, and it's with a slightly thicker yarn. Although, honestly, any pattern, you can change the yarn, adjust your needle size, and have fun. So I really wanted to start showing, here's all these cool things that I'm working on that you can do, and I'm not making progress on anything right now because we're too busy adapting to the new normal.
Because it changes every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes. Last week, what we were doing, which was considered overkill by everyone in the community, is now looked upon, like, retroactively as not doing enough. It's ridiculous. But important that we are doing as much as we can. So if you all have ideas that you'd like to share, if you want to send us photos of things that could inspire people to do projects, I can make sure I throw them into the video in some way and post them at the bottom. I wouldn't take credit for making them because I didn't, but it might help people know, because maybe not everyone wants to make a brickless. I put like 4 things out in my last newsletter, and that's not going to appeal to everybody. Or you're going to finish that and say, what next? So we need to keep each other going. We need to support each other and figure out how we can do that remotely, and how, if possible, we can keep the shop going, all that kind of stuff. I want to try to keep this going regardless. So we'll see, all right? So goodbye to everybody right now. We are signing off for now, but we'll be filming again. We'll be filming different types of videos, and we'll be letting you know, all right?
Stay tuned for more adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
Yes, absolutely.
Stay safe.
Craft on, stay safe, stay
your
connected.
hands.
Wash your hands. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now it's our chit-chat.
So-
Chit-chat. What are we doing?
Okay, so when you
I
do
can't chit-chat.
when you do the
Okay.
Solomon's knot, like
Uh-huh.
this is starting, pull up, or you secure it in.
Uh-huh.
So you start with a single crochet.
Okay.
And then pull up,
Yeah.
and then pull through.
Okay.
But hold the 2 yarns at the bottom because you're going to go in between what
To
you
make a
pulled
new
up
knot.
to make a new single crochet.
Oh.
And then you pull up, pinch it in place, pull through.
Oh, wow.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
It's not.
I have no idea if any of that was on camera, but we'll figure it out. I'll make a video.
Yeah. And then you just go and like
Yeah.
secure it in place
Oh, how
and
cool.
start all over again. Like that's.
Very cool.
You haven't had much time to actually watch that, so I figured I'd snag you now.
I'll have to watch it again. I'm actually
Yeah.
sitting right here.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I know.
It's not a thing.
So yeah, it's just super, and like the video I saw, if you do it out of like mohair, just by itself, it's just this very light. Oh my gosh, you'd float away, but you'd be so warm.
Yeah.
And every yarn you use is